What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a quick review of my 1969, and it used to be a Chevrolet C30, but now it's a K30 because it is four-wheel drive once it's lifted. C stands for two-wheel drive, K stands for four-wheel drive. So, what have I done to this truck? Well, the obvious you guys can see, which is the lift, tires, the wheels, the mud, but there's a couple other things. So, first off, is on Ram 5th Gen dually front wheels. This is F350 rear wheels. The tires and the deflector, the windshield deflector here, the bug deflector, were from my friend Fisher Built 164 on Instagram. He's an actual personal friend of mine that actually, before I moved to this house, lived literally a half a mile from me. And we were friends before we got into the model stuff, but he owns a vinyl company, so he's able to print cool things like this. This is actually like a plastic vinyl. And he's got a friend that can do rubber 3D printing, so he did the tires. So you look at the front, you can kind of see here, he also makes these templates that you can put on that replicate window wipers going. So you can see there, you can kind of see the windshield wiper. So I put those on when I actually sprayed it, forgot to put those on, wiped the paint off the windshield, put those on, sprayed it again some more. Here's the other side of the model. It is not completely done yet. As you can see here, I haven't glued the wheel on yet. So let me do that real quick. I stick that back in there. For some reason, that one falls off. I haven't glued the wheels in yet because I want to make sure I'm 100% done. I don't like to glue in any of the wheels until the truck is complete, which means drive shafts, transfer case, which I'm gonna do. I got to do all that on this truck still. I got mirrors coming in that are gonna go on, and then once that is all done, then I'll glue the wheels on. But I always like to wait until everything else is completely done before I glue the wheels in. Here's the top of the truck. As you can see, the mud spray detail all around it. And what I do is I sprayed that with my my airbrush. It was actually the first spray I ever did with my airbrush. I messed up the paint mixture, to be honest with you, and you're supposed to use paint thinner, and I had seen online 50-50 mixture with rubbing alcohol and acrylic paint, and that didn't necessarily work out so well because you could see the paint particles floating in the alcohol. But I said, let's just do it anyways because it's a spray for a weathering job. And to be totally honest with you, it's textured and it came out really good for what I was looking for. So anyhow, that is going to be a review for this. Now, what we're going to do, because you know me and I can't have more than less than a 25-minute video. We're actually going to hook the paintbrush up, mix ourselves some paint, and I got a couple construction models that I want to do a weather job on. So, guess what? We're going to do it in this video. So, let me get the paint together, and I'll show you guys how to mix that the correct way after I watch a couple of YouTube videos, and then we'll get the spraying. So just bear with me real quick. Of course, I say bear with me like that didn't just switch over. All right, so I got acrylic paint. These you can get Target, Walmart, dollar store for about, I don't know, I think it was $1.25 a bottle, and a popsicle stick, and one of my wife's Tupperware containers, so if I don't ever post again, you'll know she found out I used it and killed me for it. That's just a joke. Alright, so anyhow, you want to use not a whole lot, because the hopper I'm going to use is this one here, so I don't really need a whole lot, and you want this to be like a milk-like consistency. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my paint in the Tupperware container, and then if I believe correctly, I don't know if my airbrush kit, no, it didn't come with any bottles. Alright, that's okay. We'll make this work. So what we'll do is I'll mix it up, and let me grab the airbrush out while we're at it. I'll mix this up in there, and then I'll add it to the hopper, and then I'll add thinner into the hopper behind it. I'm still trying to kind of, I don't know, not that I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just more or less still trying to get this down pat, because I want to make sure I make enough paint to be able to do this, or have it consistent across, like the color of the oop, that was good. The color of the mud that I'm putting on there, I want to keep it consistent across all my models. I don't want it to look too much different while I do this, because I think majority of my models are going to get weathered, including that Cat 420 XE that I did a video of yesterday. Grab some paper towel and we'll get started here. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this brown here, and I'm going to use it as a secondary, and I'm going to use this as my primary, so this will be my primary, and then I'll add some of that brown to it afterwards. So I'll just squirt a little bit in here. Actually, shake that down. All right, so I'll squirt a little bit in here. Like that's probably good. And then I'll add a couple drops of that just to mix it up. All right, let me mix this up real quick and I'll come right back. All right, so that's probably a good consistency that I want to go for this. Looks like pretty good. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to add my hopper into the airbrush first. So we'll add this into the airbrush, and then we'll fill, I guess we'll fill this up. I wish I had like a little jar or something to mix this in, but I don't. All right, so we'll add in, is this gotta, we'll add some of this thinner in here. I believe there's probably, yeah, there we go. The click tells me at first about to turn on in a minute, so you'll have to, you may have to stand by. Oop. Alright, so first up we got the 950M. So here's the airbrush. I got this on Amazon for like 20 bucks. This is the tank compressor and battery all in one, and it charges right there. And then this is the actual airbrush. I already got the paint mixed up. It's in here. I did some test shots on this stuff over here just to see. So let's turn this baby on. Let's do some test shots on it. So the idea with this is you kind of want to, make it look pretty realistic, and you can actually dial this needle out a little bit so it looks realistic. And we can use the this little table that's on here to kind of move it around. So you want to make sure you get some good detail on that handle, a little bit down the sides. But you want to make sure you're bring this a little closer here. You want to make sure you're paying some attention to those wheels, because those wheels are definitely what gets dirty there. Okay. Turn this around, make sure we get the back. You want to make these look like they're, kind of in a muddier environment. So I just kind of go around it, and I just kind of look at how it looks. And this is exactly what I did for that tow truck. Just kind of want to throw that up there. On the bucket, you definitely want to make sure, because that's what's grabbing all the dirt, you definitely want to make sure you're laying that down heavy. like that, because that's where most of that you know, that's gonna be. And you can see on the windshield there, I got that windshield decal. So that was what makes it look like the windshield got dirty. So just that, yep, there. And then the last thing you want to make sure you do, so a lot of people don't do this, is you want to make sure you roll your model back a little ways and get the undersides of those wheels there that wouldn't get picked up. That way they're pretty evenly sprayed. You can also hang it up. You just want to make sure those wheels look nice and dirty, because it looks kind of weird if you don't. Oop. Actually works better for me. I go forward like that. There you go. And then, last but not least, make sure get some of that detail there. And then, last but not least, you want to make sure that you're getting, especially on loaders, excavators, stuff like that, you want to make sure you get, and you don't forget the bottom of the bucket, which I probably should have lifted the bucket up higher when I started this, but again, like usual, I didn't think. Alright, so I think also want to miss the inside of the wheels. So I think that's going to be probably pretty good for that model. Now that'll sit in there probably throughout the night, and then let's see about removing these guys. Those guys out of there. Put that in the back, and then we might as well do this guy too while we're at it, because I want to make sure I get both of these. Now this guy's going to give me a little bit of grief with that bucket not wanting to sit up because of how these things are. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to pop the bucket off and do it that way. Actually, I could put one of these clamps in here, one of these clips in, and I can actually clip that into the bucket, or onto the bucket, and then it'll hold the bucket how I want to paint it. Which we'll have this off to the side here. Okay. Alright, let's do this guy too. You guys already watched the video, so I'm not going to bother, or you guys already saw how I did the loader, so I'll just come back once this is done. Alright, and there you have it. That looks horrible, but it's fine because it's, again, a weathering job. Who cares? So there's the two of them done, and we'll take a look at them tomorrow, and we'll see what you guys think. Alright, and there it is. Now, since I took the first portion of the video, and now several things have changed. My L-shaped diorama now has a new diorama section where I'm going to be doing my reviews on, which I'll zoom out and show you guys in a second. And I actually got a new phone, which is the Samsung S25 Ultra. So you guys are actually you're in for a treat, because you guys are gonna get better camera footage and better camera quality, as you're seeing right here, because it's got arguably the best cameras on the market, and they're the best cameras from Samsung. My other phone was a Samsung Z Fold 4, so it folded open like a book and had like a mini tablet screen on the inside, but I compromised having the really good cameras for that. So anyway, this is how that weathering job came out. So the bucket in this backhoe here, it didn't like very much. It didn't like the paint very much because it was smooth. The bucket and the plastic is smooth, so it kind of rippled up in there. So I may go back in with a brush and just kind of finish that. But the rest of it came out good. You can see right here on the windshields where that windshield decal was that I put on there, and it looks like he had the windshield wiper going. Here's the back side of it. The bucket on the excavator part, you can see here, similar thing, kind of gave me a little bit of an issue, but I mean it's okay. It doesn't look bad for what it is, so that's fine. All right, and then also let me just put this back on the front loader. Put the back off to the side. The front loader, because the paint or the front of it is metal, or the bucket is metal. This took the paint really well, as you can see here. I think my paint was a little wet. There's the bottom side of it. There. So same thing with the decal along the window as well there for the windshield. So there's the back of it. So this one came out pretty good. So, yep. So that is the video on how to weather a piece of equipment or a truck or whatever. All right, so here, now we'll zoom out and you guys will get to see the entire layout. We'll go there. So from here back to where that low boy is right there, that was originally the original part of the diorama. I made another piece here and back, which is where the laydown yard is going to be. I'm going to go through and put some bushes in here. I already got the trees put in, so I'm going to put some bushes in here. I'm going to trim all this back a little bit so this doesn't overlap like that. And I went to Home Depot and had them cut me another piece. I got a 2 foot by 2 foot piece of plywood, and I had the guys at Home Depot cut me this piece. I also happen to have these over here. These pieces. I have this 1 foot by 1 foot square, and I have this 1 foot by 2 foot piece. This 1 foot by 2 foot piece is going to be an add-on to this diorama over here. So that diorama there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you hear any weird noises in the background, my daughter just come down here to help me work on diorama a little bit. She's sucking out a lollipop right now, so that's what that noise is. So, all right, guys, that is it, and see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and also check out my Instagram for cool photos, stuff like that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.